That's right. We're a very special place. The campus of Our Lady School. June 29th, 2017. And we're here to have a chat with a remarkable gentleman and his wife, Carol. Tim McCarthy. Tim is the very special gentleman from the Indiana State Police that started a tradition here in Notre Dame. Imagine, 55 years and over 300 messages. He calls them quips. At the end of the third quarter, after the 1812 overture, when people need to be told about excess drinking. Binge drinking does not serve any good purpose here at a lady school or anywhere else. And he does it with a sense of humor. He even gets a few booze and things like that. But he's a member of the Notre Dame Monogram Club. And this gentleman is a legend here at Notre Dame. We're now going to go spend a few minutes and have a chat with him. Well, here we're at the Morris Inn at the pub called Roars. And they have a bartender here, Tim, that's been here for like forever, 50 years, named Patrick Murphy. Mm-hmm. You ever meet him? I think he has almost as much seniority as you do.
I might have.
Yes.
Over the years.
Right.
But offhand, you know.
Well, you might meet him today.
I'm sure I have.
You know, on my way over here, I bumped into Harv Humphreys. Harv is the guy that keeps the operations going at the Basilica. And he's played tuba in the Notre Dame band in the year 19 something or another. And he wanted me to let you know that when you did the equip, when you're out on the highway and you think you're the king of the road, be careful, because when you get to traffic court, you're going to be crowned.
That's right. I remember giving that one.
That's right. And Harv wants you to know that's his favorite.
That went pretty good.
If I got it right, is it 300 quips? About 300?
Oh, easy, yes. Yeah. I think it'd be more around 332.
332, and how many? And 55 years though.
55 years.
And you tried to quit after 30 when you switched from the state police to.
Well, when I retired from the state police, you know, I told Moose Krause, I said, well, you know, I'm gonna be leaving. I'm retiring, and he said, hey, he says, I'd love to have you just keep doing it. I said, if it's all right with you and if it's all right with the state police, yeah, I said, it's fine with me. So, and then I became sheriff in our county. I did that for 8 years.
Which county was that?
Porter County.
Porter.
And so I stayed there, and then when I retired from there, I went into another job. I was elected as county assessor, and I did that for 13 years. But make a long story short, why? It's a total of 55 years given the announcements. The funny thing is, Pat, and this happened more than once, where I'd have some young student come up to me and say, oh, Sergeant McCarthy, gee, I'm so glad I heard you, because my grandfather heard you. And my grandfather, and he went to school here, he remembers you when you were giving your things. I thought, boy, this is really stating my age, you know.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Thus, I started thinking about retiring for good.
There's a gentleman in Hawaii named Jim Curtin, class of '73, who has a state police hat and shirt. And at every game watch, after the third quarter and the 1812 overture, he gets up and does one of your quips.
But gee, are they ones that he made up? Or?
No, it's all your stuff.
I was going to say, if they're ones that he made up, I sure would like to look at them. I probably could have used them.
Well, you know.
You get a little desperate once in a while.
Or maybe you could just file charges against him for plagiarization.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So, so when you finished, after you retired from the state police, did you, what uniform did you wear when you went to stating? Did you wear a uniform?
No, I didn't wear. I just
But up to that time, you wore your uniform.
Yes.
And you remember the Monogram Club. What year was that?
Yes, that was, oh golly, I think about 20. Well, that hasn't been about 5 years ago.
That's very rare that a non-athlete is a member of the Monogram Club. I think Mike Bennett from the photographer has that same honor.
Yeah, I know Mike.
Great, and Susan, great people. Did you so when you So at what point did you? Now you've been with Carol here just a couple of years, right? You just met Carol with your wife here, just a very sort of a new. How long you meet him now? It's been what, 3 months? It's been 60 years.
60 years, starting 61.
And
we hit that big 6-0. Do you know where I met my wife?
I'd like to know.
When she was 19 years old.
No kidding.
I met her at a manslaughter trial.
Wow.
I arrested a fellow for manslaughter. I was a rookie trooper at the time, and I was in the courtroom sitting with the prosecutor, and I saw this young lady walk into the courtroom, and she worked for the recorder's office, and one of her jobs was running into the courtroom to have the judge sign documents and so forth. And so about the third time she walked in there, I asked the prosecutor, I said, I knew him well, he's a long-time attorney. I said, who's that girl there? He told me, so that's Carol Miller. He says, would you like to meet her? I said, boy, would I ever, And so I met her, and 4 hours later, I called her up for a date. She agreed, and that's where it started.
The rest is history.
Lasted 20 years. Well, and part of the history is Alfred Varnick then was a deputy prosecutor at the time. Then he was elected the prosecutor. Then he was elected as a judge in Porter County. And after that, he became one of Indiana's Supreme Court judges. Good friend of mine, nice man.
Speaking of special guys like that, who presented you to Monogram Club membership? Who was that presented that to you?
I can't get the name off now. I don't know who recommended me or anything.
Did you get the jacket?
Yes. And what happened is that after I gave my announcement at this game, they told me somebody wanted to talk to me out in the foyer of the press box. I got out there, and there's this group of people, all former athletes from Notre Dame and other people. And lo and behold, I look up and here's my family.
Wow.
I had no idea they were even at the game. My wife and my daughter and son. And I thought, hey, something's wrong here. And then they told me what I was doing out there, what they wanted to see.
Was that your last game?
No. That wasn't the last game. This was about 5 years before the last game. It was about 2000, I think.
Did you ever have any special moments when people really gave you a lot of trouble over the clips, or gave you a lot of boos or anything? Did you ever have any special bad moments or anything?
Any what?
Boos. You got booed for the first one, didn't you? Got a few boos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, for drinking?
Yeah.
Well, driving when you're half lit is not very bright.
Yeah, all right.
Drive like, let's see. Oh, the very first one I ever gave was the automobile replaced the horse, but the driver should stay on the wagon.
That's the first one and the last one you did.
Yeah, that's the last one I did.
I'm a fan. I've read every book you said. I've read your book, everything.
Yeah. And there are just so many of them. Drive like lightning, or crash like thunder. If it's snowing outside, the roads are covered with snow. I told them, never let your driving make you grumpy or dopey when the roads are snow white.
Snow white.
So you think a little bit grumpy and dopey, yeah.
I got it,
yeah. And
they don't get it, they're dopey.
Just allow them. When the pavement's wet, don't let your driving get rusty. Band with you.
Actually, we have the little part of the band at the beginning of this thing. We're going to show you later. But okay, so what's your all-time favorite quip?
Oh, really, it's hard to say which one's the favorite, Pat. I liked all of them.
Was there any you regret doing? Was there any that you thought was the bottom of the barrel?
Oh, yeah, I've had some bottom of the barrels too. That
I always felt the worse they are, the more entertaining they are. The biggest, the more corny they are, the more entertaining. The more, the more they get people, out laughing.
the ones that I'll tell you, the ones that people liked were the ones that were corny, really corny.
Me
The
too.
cornier, the better.
That's right.
That's what they liked. And the funny thing, when I started doing that, people didn't pay any attention to it whatsoever. None whatsoever.
No.
And I could understand that. They're here for a good time, a
Fourth quarter's coming.
weekend.
What do you mean? The fourth quarter's coming up.
Yeah, and they just were thinking about the good time instead of what some state troopers going to tell them about behaving themselves on the way over, something like that. So I thought, if I start using these quips, maybe that'll attract a little bit of attention. So the first clip I gave was that one about the automobile replaced a horse, and by chance, the referees, as I recall, were discussing something on the field. It's kind of a close play, and everybody was quiet, watching the refs trying to figure out what the hell they were going to call this play. So luckily, this is when Frank Rozier, who was the announcer at the time, gave me the mic. He said, "It's a good time right now." He'd pick the time and give it to me, and it was. The stadium was unusually quiet, and I gave that, and it came out real good because the people could hear it. There wasn't any background noise for them to that would override my voice. And gee, the groans and the boos. I mean, it was funny. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just look at it. Well, there were 2 games left in that season. And the first one was second from the last game. And the next game was going to be the last. I thought I'll try it again. And that one went over kind of good, but still I got to hear the boos and the groans and the stuff. So next season I thought I'm going to stick with this for a while. To make a long story short again, towards the end of the season, it kept getting quieter and quieter when I would go on the air.
Right after the 1812 overture, it got quieter.
People wanted to hear what that corny quip was going to be. And then, they all booed and groaned and stuff and laughed and everything. And finally, after about 3 years of it, it got at the point where when I came on, they just, they turned the volume down.
All right.
Right. And it worked out pretty good. So
like they're in church.
I kept it, yeah.
And Tim McCarty's Basilica for a moment.
Yeah.
Wow. Did anybody ever try to carry on your tradition after you left the stadium?
No, I'll tell you the funny thing. After I retired from it, quite often they were playing tape recordings that they had taped of me, which I thought was kind of made me feel good.
Me too.
Yeah, they miss me. They miss the old guy.
But they don't do that anymore?
Yeah.
Well, we have a game coming up this Thursday at 6:45, fantasy camp, 6:45 p.m. Stadium's we have a lot of empty seats, 50-yard line empty seats. But if you want to be there, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're an older group of guys. We all know Tim McCarty.
What game is that?
Every year they have a fantasy camp game for
fantasy
camp for older gentlemen to play on the field and make a contribution to the Monogram Club.
I don't know.
That's not.
Yeah. Okay. I'll think about it.
Do you have any other messages for Domers or Notre Dame, Tim, you'd like to share with us?
No, just the only one I can think of is the one that says, ends up with "Go Irish," and you don't have to tell them that if they're Domers. They know all of that, and boy, they're I'll tell you, the best fan group you can ever find. It's incredible.
Planet Earth.
And one thing I did, I ended up getting involved in a lot of student events, pep rallies, and so forth when they'd have me there. And well, the one, Dillon Hall, that's one of the men's stores here.
For Paul, Father Paul's there.
Had kind of traditionally would have the first home game rally for the dormitory, not the main rally, but theirs would always be on a Thursday, and it would carry quite a crowd. In fact, the whole university would be there, and it was always there, and I would do a thing there every one of their rallies. Did that for a few years.
Father Paul Doyle's the rector there now.
Paul Doyle and I got to be good friends.
He was the football
he was chaplain.
Went to Japan with them, everything.
He's been rector with their boy. Those kids love that man, you know.
Who doesn't?
And he is a great guy.
He sure is.
Wonderful place.
Do you have anything to add to this? You've been through all this with him. You've been through every game.
I used to get to, I'd go over to the press box, but when you're in the press box, you can't express your cheers or anything.
No.
But anyway, I enjoyed it. And then when he'd go and get the new shirt, they came out.
Right.
I always went with them when they produced the new shirt. It was fun.
And but the press box was heated, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And they had treats in the press box too. They had
food, good food, snacks.
You must have had some time with Father Hesburgh then.
Yes, we did see him.
Did you have any time with Father Hesburgh, Timothy?
A few times, yes. The time I was with him once was the biggest thrill of my life. It really was.
I had a couple of sessions with him, and I was working doing some military stuff about leadership, and he said, Patrick, the essence of leadership is trying to be part of something that's bigger than yourself, and that's what Notre Dame is. And you know, Tim, you're a legend here at Notre Dame, and everybody that meets you is just a little bit more blessed.
How about that?
Thank you.
Always had a good time here, I'll tell you, just something else. And my wife, Carol, she is the one who would hear my quip before anybody else. Because I'd always run it past her the day before the game.
Did she ever suggest anything or criticize them or anything?
She'd say, "Oh, Tim, that's terrible. You aren't going to see it." I'd think, "Hey, here's a good one. I can't miss that one."
If it was terrible, you like it.
Yeah. No, she's a good checker for me.
Well, your guys are a great Irish team. Thank you. We're cutting back to, we're going to go back to the Dover Network right now and take a pause. Okay, we're wrapping up now. What song does it better than Notre Dame Our Mother, proudly in the heavens? What a salute to Tim McCarthy. This represents Tim, Notre Dame, and all that's good and holy on planet Earth. Go Irish.